Handwriting is a behavior. We move from left to right while going up and down. It reveals speed, organization, rhythm, intensity, etc., etc. I see the ink trail left behind as a permanent record of our core characteristics. The Enneagram is a character trait model based on our childhood origins, which determines our preoccupations and reveals our core motivations and core emotional issues. Blending writing behavior with the Enneagram is an ideal match. A quick peek at handwriting behavior. Casey Anthony writes slower, larger, and with forethought. She is a planner, matching the elaborate cover-up of her daughter's death. The signature of her defense attorney, Jose Baz, is illegible with larger capitals. This suggests an inflated self-esteem with deceptive tendencies matching the likely false accusations in the direction of George Anthony. Ronald Taylor shows intensity and is overly controlled. His pent-up anger finally unleashed itself in a rage-filled rampage shooting at a McDonald's. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, writes fast, with strong pressure and a forward slant. This implies a highly reactive and intense personality matching his opportunistic night-stalking crimes. We have three basic instincts we attend to. We all need our independence, security, and attention. The Enneagram is a circle, indicative that all instincts apply to all types. Yet, the instinct we feel we lack the most becomes an area of our focus. In the center of each instinct group is the primary type, 9, 6, and 3, which tend to have the strongest needs, the most significant problems, and are the most resistant to change. Each primary type has an internalized and an externalized version of itself, called the secondary types. For instance, the internalized version of the 9 is 1, and the externalized version of the 9 is 8. The basic instinct all three need to fulfill is to gain their independence. 9s withdraw and passive-aggressively gain their autonomy. 8s take initiative and gain autonomy through dominance. And 1s are complacent, gaining their independence by adhering to their own self-inflicted strict rules. 6, 7, and 5s don't feel secure and have anxiety issues, whereas 3, 2s, and 4s don't feel they get enough attention. Every type is influenced by the type next to it. The most dominant influence is called the wing. For instance, I am a 5 and influenced by characteristics consistent with a 6. That makes me a 5 wing 6. We use different strategies to meet our needs. They are based on the fear, flight, and fight model and provide us with a HORNEVIAN grouping. Types 3, 7, and 8 are the assertives or the fighters, and they have identification issues with the nurturing side of their upbringing. Type 6, 1, and 2 are the compliants or the fear-based group with authority problems, and 9, 5, and 4 are the withdrawns or the flight group with problem areas in both nurturing and authority. How we identify with the nurturing and authoritative side of our upbringing has a lasting effect on our lens of perspective in our adult life. Nurturing comes naturally to mothers, hence I used an M for nurturing, whereas authority is the F for father. I used the minus sign for negative, positive sign for positive, and the tilde sign for an ambivalent identification. Combining the instinctual needs with the HORNEVIAN groups shows that the 6 gains security through complacency, and they decide based on their personal belief systems. The compliant group does not mean they comply with others, rather they comply and adhere to their own strict self-inflicted rules. 9s seek autonomy through withdrawal. They get what they want through passive-aggressive behaviors. 3s assert themselves to any length to get attention, and this includes grossly exaggerating their abilities. Besides the triads, there are comparable links between the types. The harmonic groups show how we resolve inner conflict and problems. 3s, 5s and 1s resolve their problems through withdrawal and reasoning, and this is called the competency group. 6, 8s and 4s resolve issues through emotional reactions while not trusting others initially, whereas 9s, 2s and 7s maintain a positive outlook and ignore the negatives. Interestingly, because of the outward and noticeable behaviors, types within the harmonic group often misidentify themselves. A 9 might believe they are a 2 or a 7, for instance. Understanding the Hornevian and harmonic groups can quickly identify a personality type with around about a 70% accuracy rate. For instance, someone who is assertive would be a 3, 7 or 8. An assertive who builds a foundation for an argument would be a competent 3. A reactive assertive would be an 8, whereas the bubbly social busy bee would be a 7. Ted Bundy was a 7 wing 8. He was assertive/aggressive, and he was extremely charming. Successfully identifying a personality type provides a wealth of information. When we identified someone as a 7, for instance, we know the person had a negative identification with quote-unquote the nurturing mother. The mother did not make the child feel secure, and the child had to find security in the little blanket or any other item. In their adult life, they tend to want to own things and keep themselves preoccupied in an attempt to push away their insecure feelings. Ted Bundy was a 7 wing 8, and he was a kleptomaniac and wanted to own women. Each type has 9 levels of development, ranging from healthy to unhealthy. In the healthy range, a type knows who they are and where they stand. In the unhealthy range, a type can retaliate, violate, and become psychotic. Our preoccupation to seek one of our 3 basic instincts, autonomy, security, and attention, reveals which instinct is most distorted. Someone preoccupied with safety and comfort is in self-preservation mode. They will scan a room and find out where and with whom they feel most safe. Someone who's preoccupied with the next thrill scans a room to find out who or what will be the most exciting entertainment for that moment. And lastly, an individual who's focusing on who is doing what to whom while doing his best to be approved is preoccupied with social hierarchy. The instinctual variants run through all types and is not a subtype, rather a preoccupation with the most distorted basic instinct. There are 9 types with 18 wing possibilities. Add the instinctual variants and the 9 levels of development, and this totals to a model with at least 486 variations. And we haven't even looked at the dynamics of the model yet. Types can also be identified by excess stress behaviors linked to the 7 sins, with deceit and fear added. The 7 sins are wrath, pride, envy, greed, gluttony, lust, and sloth. We will add deceit and fear for type 3 and 6. The Enneagram is a dynamic model. For instance, any type will fluctuate within the boundaries of their development level. The more secure someone is, the healthier their outlook is. With more stress, any type will be at lower levels of development. When a type is not able to cope well, they disintegrate to another predetermined type. For instance, a low-level 9, seeking autonomy but insecure, moves to type 6 and starts to focus on security and authority approval. A healthy 9 moves to 3 and is self-assured and authentic. The Enneagram model allows for all types to have all instincts and character traits, and shows that certain types are more prone to certain behavioral traits based on type, wing, Hornevian and harmonic groups, instinctual variants, and levels of development. Add the dynamics of integration and disintegration, and the model is extremely dynamic.